She said yes to the relationship, but no to the proposal. Twice. Not because she didn't love me or so I thought, but because the ring wasn't big enough, or the setting wasn't dreamy enough. That's when it hit me. I wasn't proposing to the woman I thought I knew. I was pitching a fantasy to someone who only saw love through Pinterest boards and Instagram filters. I never thought I'd walk away from someone I imagined growing old with. But I did. And this is the story of how we fell in love, and how her obsession with the perfect proposal slowly dismantled everything real between us. We met 5 years ago in a bookstore. No, seriously. She reached for the same copy of The Alchemist I was about to grab. We laughed, made small talk about Paulo Coelho, and somehow that conversation turned into coffee, then dates, then years. Her name was Tara. And if you'd asked me back then, I would have told you she was the one. Her smile lit up every room, and she had this fire in her. Ambitious, creative, funny. She was an aspiring interior designer, building her portfolio one tiny client at a time. I was working as a software engineer, stable income, long hours, simple life. Our first year was pure magic. Midnight ramen runs. Dance parties in the kitchen. Binge-watching terrible Netflix shows. Celebrating each other's wins, big or small. I cheered her on through failed interviews and hugged her through breakdowns. When she landed her first big design contract, I helped paint the studio space she rented. That night, she kissed me and said, "You really believe in me, don't you?" And I did. With everything I had. We talked about marriage a lot. She showed me her Pinterest boards filled with proposal ideas, ring styles, wedding themes. I used to tease her, saying I'd just propose over pizza and beer. She'd laugh and say, "As long as there's a good story to tell our kids." I thought she meant it. So when the time came, I wanted to surprise her. Not with something out of a magazine, but something meaningful. I saved up for nearly a year, cutting back on everything just to get a ring I felt proud of. It was vintage style, 1.2 carats, with a sapphire center, because she once said diamonds were too basic. I booked a cozy cabin in the mountains, just the two of us. Snow everywhere. A warm fire. Stars above. After dinner, with a blanket wrapped around her shoulders, I knelt down, pulled out the ring, and told her how much she meant to me. That I wanted forever with her. She smiled, but not the kind of smile I expected. She said, "It's sweet, really? But I always imagined my proposal with family and friends around. Like a surprise party. Balloons. Maybe a photographer hiding in the bushes." I was stunned. She didn't say no. She said, "Maybe later, when the setting is right." I laughed it off. Told myself it wasn't a rejection, just a delay. But inside something cracked. That night, while she fell asleep next to me, I stared at the ceiling wondering what I did wrong. A month passed. I tried to move on, but the uncertainty gnawed at me. Eventually, I decided to give her what she wanted. Her dream. I went all out. Rented a rooftop space in the city. Got her friends and family to help. Decorated it with fairy lights, rose petals, her favorite flowers. I even swapped the ring for a larger diamond. That alone cost me another few months of savings. When she arrived, she gasped. "It's so beautiful," she whispered. I felt my knees buckle as I dropped down again and said, "Tara, will you marry me?" She hesitated. Again. Then she said, "This is beautiful. But I always pictured being proposed to in Paris. You know that? The Eiffel Tower at night, maybe a violinist." I didn't even reply. I just stood there, feeling like I was losing her piece by piece. People around us clapped politely. Someone handed her champagne. She smiled like it was a birthday party. I stood off to the side, drowning in silence. Later that night, I sat in my car for an hour, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. All I could think was, why wasn't it ever enough? She didn't reject me for who I was. She rejected me for not fitting her scripted fantasy. The next morning, I sat across from her at brunch. I asked her calmly, "Would you rather have the dream proposal, from someone else, than a real one from me?" She didn't answer. Just stared down at her eggs. That silence was my answer. I got up, left the ring box on the table and walked out. No yelling. No drama. Just heartbreak. I spent weeks in a fog. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't focus. Friends said I dodged a bullet. I didn't feel lucky, I felt shattered. She texted a few times. One message read, "I'm still trying to understand what went wrong." I never replied. Because deep down, I knew she wasn't in love with me. She was in love with the idea of a moment, not a marriage. It hurts. It still does. But looking back now, I'm proud of myself for walking away. For finally realizing that love isn't about checking boxes. It's not about surprise drones, violins, fireworks, or the Eiffel Tower. It's about showing up, heart in hand, and hearing a yes that comes from love, not expectation. So if you're reading this, wondering if your love story is enough without a viral proposal, let me tell you something. You are. And the right person won't need fireworks to say yes. They'll just need you.